Get this, adults with financial literacy skills have 82% more wealth than those who don't. From swimming lessons to piano classes, us parents invest in so many things to enrich our kids' lives. But are we investing in their future financial success? With Greenlight, you can teach your kids financial literacy skills like earning, saving, and investing. And this investment costs less than that after-school treat. Start prioritizing their financial education and future today with a risk-free trial at greenlight.com/Wondery. Greenlight.com/Wondery. Looking for your best sleep ever? Sleep Number smart beds are literally made for you. They adapt to your changing needs. So whether you're dealing with sore muscles or running hot at night, your bed automatically adjusts for optimal comfort. Want softer, firmer, cooler, warmer? With personalized firmness settings and temperature control that cools up to 20 times faster than leading competitors, you'll get the perfect sleep environment every night. Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? So you can choose your ideal comfort on either side. And now it's the Sleep Number Everything Smart Bed sale. Every smart bed and base are on sale during our Memorial Day event, up to 50% off, limited time, exclusively at a Sleep Number store near you. See store or sleepnumber.com for details.
For the song.
Yeah, I'm trying to hear the song. Pat, I got to tell you something.
Yes. I'm ready.
This is from CBS. This is from CBS in Chicago.
Okay.
April Holder, her name is April Holder.
Okay.
Is the great-granddaughter and direct lineal descendant of Black Hawk, the legendary Native American war leader from Illinois. And she wants the Blackhawks must stop using the name Blackhawks. And I countered it. She's Blackhawks' great seven. That's 7 grades. Granddaughter. And she's never spoken publicly until now. And she wants the Blackhawks to change their name.
And the Blackhawks, of course, can say, we're not doing it. So
Blackhawks, I mean, it's a long story. The Blackhawks are acknowledging their respect for Chief Blackhawk, as they always have, and they've given money to indigenous groups and what have you, and on and on and on and on. But I thought everything was fine with that name. And then now comes April.
Well, yeah, but April's, what's she looking for?
She's in the failed academy. She's an artist. Mm-hmm. And she, it's the greatest logo in sports.
And when was Chief Blackhawk, doing his deal?
Well, quite a few
early
years.
1800s?
Quite a few years ago, I think.
This is 7 generations. You know who handled the whole Indian nickname thing pretty interestingly? The Chiefs and the Braves.
Yeah.
I just said, okay.
Thanks. Thanks for letting us know.
Yeah. We'll try to cut down on the although in the Braves game we still get it all the time.
Is the only reason that Cleveland changed their name is because of the logo? Was that the only reason?
Well, Chief Wahoo, and then they just decided they didn't want to put up with it anymore. Okay. But Chief Wahoo was a little bit of a caricature.
Sure.
So.
I'll say.
Yes, yes, but...
anyway, I'm rooting for the Blackhawks to keep their name.
Yes,
isn't that your most favorite logo in sports?
Mine, yeah.
Does the Wirtz family still own them?
Yes.
They're not changing it. They're not. They're not changing it. What do we care?
Well, is it Wirtz or are they the bankers? The Wirtzes?
I don't know what that is. They were one of the original families, basically.
Well, clearly
I think they owned 2 of the 6 franchises at one time.
This has got to be, Joe, one of the most pressing issues that faces the city of Chicago right now.
It is. It's a terrible situation.
I haven't read as much about the murders. Is it slowing down there?
Well, no. I was there over Memorial Day weekend.
Happened
Pat, we shot 46 over Memorial Day weekend.
Really?
Yeah.
Dead?
No, 46 were shot. I think only 13 were killed.
Well, good. Maybe their accuracy's falling
Might be a little off.
Yeah, maybe we got non-marksman shooting, just kind of throwing shells out there, and So is anybody downtown then? I mean, people still wandering around downtown, which used to be great.
Yeah, you can take your chances. Get down there.
Got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like the lottery.
Like the lottery. You either win or you're not.
Right.
50,
Okay, I got another thing I want to know.
You're either going to
Okay,
get shot or
anyway,
you're not.
I don't think April's going to. The best thing to do is send her a couple of free tickets and say, okay.
I don't think April gives a bleep about going to a hockey game.
I don't
She's
either.
in the state of Washington.
She's hoping she's in the state of
She
Washington.
doesn't even live
Yeah.
there, but she's deeply offended.
Okay, you'll have to explain to me.
Why bother to respond?
That's
Why don't
another
you
way to
just,
do it.
Don't respond if they say, we have no comment. We've never heard of her. We love the chief.
Give me an answer to this because I'm being very serious. I do not understand how the U.S. Olympic team could not take Caitlin Clark.
You're wrong about that.
All right, help me understand.
Not a popularity contest. It's who's the 12.
You don't think she's good enough?
Oh, she could play. They're going to win with her or without her, but it's not. Listen, what they've done.
Cheryl Reeve is the one who left her off.
Well, she's one of the coaches, but she doesn't make the choices. The USA basketball does. I never thought it was a possibility, especially when she didn't start lighting up the league right away. But I think the best thing for her is to go sit on an island for 3 weeks and rest and get away from human beings. But I think all the outrage. Now, you're not outraged. You're curious.
I'm puzzled.
Puzzled. Okay. Well, she's a college basketball player. At this point, she's probably 24th best player in the WNBA. She's throwing up a lot of shots and on a terrible team, and she's had good games and she's had terrible games, and everybody they put on the team now they're honoring some wily veterans like the U.S. Olympic men's team is. LeBron's on it. Steph Curry's on it. It's like it's like the senior citizen team, and they're doing a little of that. Taurasi wants to be a 6-time Olympian, so they're letting her on it. And Griner, because she's spending time in a Russian prison, they're letting her be on it.
Is Griner a guy?
No.
Did you see the social media? I hate to quote social media, but there's a
I've been asking you not to do that.
a video of her shooting baskets around a swimming pool. It looks like maybe a family gathering or something. And she's just wearing shorts like a guy. And there's no evidence that there was any upstairs surgery.
No, I don't. She probably. I don't know what she's flat chested. Okay.
Well, beyond
she's not
that, it's pretty flat.
Well, I don't know.
No, but I mean, there's no surgical indication that she might have had some work done.
No,
it's a he, I think.
No,
I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
She's not a he. She's a guy. She's a woman. She is.
Well,
is
it's
a
very
odd,
puzzling.
Is a odd gal. This is a conversation that can only take place
Only here.
on Monday.
This is where you're going to have it.
Wasn't she in a Russian prison
Yes.
with males? She was in the male part?
I have no idea. I don't know. But I love all the people who were upset that we did something to get her out. The people thought she deserved to be in a Russian prison.
No, I think we should have got her out.
It was the trade-off, I think, that people were more
She
upset
stands for the anthem now, pal.
That's the only way to get out.
True.
Yeah, she stands for the anthem.
That is a good point, though. Very few shows are willing to tackle subject matter to this degree.
Yes.
Well, do you think the video I saw was
with
fake?
a complete lack of knowledge.
Right.
Yes.
That does not stop
Well,
us.
she's Kim Mulkey would not have had her on the basketball team if she was not a woman. So she's a different kind of cat, but she's also
It's another way of saying crazy.
She's also a fantastic player, and won at least one national championship with Baylor and stuff, and no matter how she got there by wasn't it basically chemical marijuana?
She had some dope.
I thought it was
something.
wasn't it a pipe?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'm glad they got her out of the Russian prison. I
Yeah.
don't think you belong in a Russian prison.
I'm rooting
for
for all of our people to
get out of Russian
get out of there.
prisons. Yes, and then I'm rooting for Putin to get shot in the head. But that's that's something different.
He's too well protected.
Yeah, but anyway, no, she's a woman I believe, but not a terribly attractive one. I'll admit that.
But there's nothing upstairs. There's
So the twins. I mean, what are we going to do about the? Hey, your guy Pablo. What is going on with Pablo?
Okay, are we ready to move on?
I'm done.
Okay.
I am. I like being employed.
We got the 7th great granddaughter getting rid of the Blackhawks,
Yeah,
and
right.
I just said I saw this video and it was puzzling.
Best way to do it is granddaughters ignore it.
That's it.
Ignore the 7. Just ignore her. Say, none of your beeswax or something, honey.
Or just noted.
Noted.
Thank
Okay. Noted is good. And the Griner thing is somehow she became a very political person because she was proudly not standing for the anthem, right?
And she does now. Mm-hmm. She does now.
Yeah, well, that's a damn. Now, maybe when Biden was getting her out, she signed a deal that we'll get you out, but only if you stand for future anthem.
No, I think she was very thankful.
Solve the anthem play. I think we can solve the anthem standing situation by following the Ricey plan.
What's that? Don't have the anthem.
We play it on opening day.
Mm-hmm.
We play it before Game 1 of the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
4th of July?
And if we get the 4th of July.
Okay.
And Memorial
Day, Labor Day.
And if we get to Game 7, then we can play it again.
Okay.
NBA, same kind of deal. Opening night. Then, and we also have a buzzer when we play it. And at 2 minutes, the buzzer goes off. If you're still singing, you're done.
That's right.
Mic's off.
Yeah, right. We cut the mic off. I think we sing it way too often. That's one of our problems with the anthem. You give people too many chances to protest.
Did you? I caught the anthem listening to the pregame show on my way to a game yesterday, and they had a guy playing the cello.
Does Atterbury talk during the anthem or not?
I think he pauses for the anthem.
All right, good.
But they had the guy playing the cello in Pittsburgh, and
I heard.
she was a little breezy.
Well, I heard
So
that
you're the-
screech. I heard that screech. I had to get him on too. I said, "What in the hell is this? Is this a sad? Is this Laurel and Hardy?"
I think if it hadn't been so windy, it would have been fine. But it was a little.
That's another thing I don't like.
No cellos.
No,
Oh.
another thing I don't like. Anthems with instruments.
There we go.
I
Hey,
don't
where's
like
my
that.
pen?
No,
You just want singing.
Yes, and when they do it with an instrument like the trumpet guy does it, it takes forever. Yeah.
I missed the opening to the Panthers and Oilers.
Oh God, we got to go. We got 2.
I was hoping we get 2. I love to hear
I'm
them.
sure we get 2. I love.
By the way, the Panthers are going to win that series. You know why? Because they're going to seriously beat up, and
McDavid?
incapacitate Connor McDavid.
They just go and hit him.
Just surround him and punch him in the kidneys and kill him.
and nobody cares.
No, just brutalize him.
Part of it, and then they got the commie in the net who's never lets
He's
in
pretty
a goal
good.
too. Bobrovsky or something.
Bobrovsky or whatever his name
But
is.
I was looking at the summary the other day, and I discovered that my following of the NHL is a little lax because McDavid never appeared in the summary. There was about 2 people I'd ever heard of in the entire summary. One of them was Corey Perry, who it said Perry, so I assumed it was Corey, and he must be a 4th liner now hanging on with Edmonton or something.
You know what I'd do? No commies in the league.
None. Boy.
That hurt us.
I would just say you're commies.
Well, what are we going to do? We're not going to have a guy.
So no one else will have a guy either.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true.
that's true.
Until Putin gets out of Ukraine, maybe we should tell him we can't play.
Maybe hockey could exert some force and say, look, until you get rid of Putin, no commies in this league.
Well, who would have a guy then?
You wouldn't have a guy. You'd have
Pittsburgh.
Connor McDavid would have
Pittsburgh.
a guy.
Yeah.
Well, Sidney's getting to be a little long in the tooth.
What about the Chicago kid?
He has not panned out yet, but he was hurt most of this season.
True. Okay.
Yeah.
Trying to think of who else would have a guy.
He's going to be great. Bedard's going to be great. Where are we selecting in the draft, by the way?
We're 15th?
God only knows.
We did not get lucky. You know
No.
who got lucky? Who's got the number one pick? Somebody like that. It was pretty good. I think it was
Probably Vegas.
Yeah, I mean somebody like that. It was pretty good. So anyway,
Well, Vegas is a playoff team. Why would they have? They wouldn't have been in the lottery.
yeah, they didn't make. Yeah, we were in the lottery, but we got no luck. We're 13th. That's right. I saw we were 13th in the draft. So.
Before I forget, we were sent this. You guys were talking. Patrick, you were listing how you aren't a fan of the singing of the anthem. Or the
Not all the time.
Not
Once in a while.
singing of the
I mean,
anthem.
I get up and stand there, and once in a while I'll yell out, "Too long!"
Well, at the Baltimore Orioles game, Joe, get your finger ready on the old button. At the Baltimore Orioles game, this took place a couple of weeks ago. There was a gentleman that they invited to come perform the anthem, and he did it by whistling.
Well, you don't have any sound for me. That's not good.
And they called it the bird call. Get it?
Okay.
He's whistling. The Orioles.
Okay.
The bird
All right.
call.
Oh, it's a bird thing.
Yeah, that's a bird thing.
Everyone's
See, we
saying,
gotta.
Oh, how
that's
talented
the
is
tr- when you-
He's whistling.
when
That's
you
not
do it,
talent.
when you do it 162 times a year, when you do it 160, you gotta get creative. I mean, we ran out of grade schoolers. Who
Oh,
wanted to do
that
it.
is the worst when you've got.
Yeah, but they're fast.
That
They
is
wanna
true.
get
They
done.
want to get it over
Get
with.
done before they forget what the hell they're singing. So,
I would love, as an experiment, to see what would happen if the Twins said 5 games a year.
We're gonna have the anthem.
No, 5 games a year.
We're
There's
gonna be
going to
on
be
TV.
no noise. There'll be no
Oh, the quiet
cheering, telling you to cheer. No, nothing.
No, you can. All the noise would be created by the fans.
The only thing you will hear is the genuine organ playing.
No
That's
announcements.
it.
No.
Nothing about its.
You could
It's
say who the batter is.
left-handed poetry night.
You're trying to put Adam out of work. What do you got against Double A?
No, Adam can, without enthusiasm.
No, that's it. I'm drawing the line at
I would just like to see
batting.
what the attendance would be.
Batting third,
interesting.
playing. You know who's
You can
got
still
it?
announce who's coming to the plate.
Yeah, right. That's right. Do it like
noise.
Sherm Feller used to in Boston.
Yeah.
He'd do it in the first, second, and third inning, and then the 7th, 8th, and 9th. He took the middle of 3 innings off because he'd go in and have a couple of pops with Walter in the bar. But he was great. But you know who's got a... Sports fans in general kind of have to... Sometimes there's embarrassing things. But is there anything more embarrassing now than if you've signed up for Pablo
God.
night, and they put these yellow jerseys on you? They're charging you, God knows what they're charging you for these yellow jerseys. And you're sitting down there in bad seats in the right field line with the only yellow jerseys in the stadium. And he's out there giving up 8 runs in 2 2/3 innings. Yay! Pablo, it's Pablo night. Throw more sweepers, Pablo.
What's
God
the City
almighty.
Connect deal?
Oh, God.
What'd you think?
It's been described to me as a Serbian bicycle racing jersey.
It's not very dramatic. It's not, I like Cleveland's one. It just said Clee across
What's
top.
the whole point, though, of the City
Merchandising.
Connect?
You
merchandising.
buying
Well, no, I get
jerseys.
that. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
but I
it's-
guess there is no other point, is there?
Well, the NFL started doing this on Monday nights 10 years ago, and baseball's never had an original thought in its life. They always rip, baseball's now playing games in London. They did that 20 years ago. And, I looked at them and said, when I looked at it, I didn't see we have like ripples. So it's supposed to
Water.
be. It's supposed to be
What about the hat? Has
reflection of
something under the visor, under the bill? There's maps of a map of lakes
Really?
under the visor
Twin
of the
Cities
cap.
Lakes, maybe.
I
or
guess
something.
I don't know.
I don't know, but what good does that do if
I have no
nobody can
idea.
see it? But you're gonna When you walk down the street, you want to show off your hat, you're gonna wave it, and people.
I don't understand the whole
Plus,
concept.
Joe, Judd and I were actually talking about this. The amount of what do you do? I would imagine if you want the good City Connect jersey, Reavers, with somebody's name on it, you got to cost you $350
easily, because it'll easily
$350.
Yes.
Oh, easily, yeah.
I told you I was going to get my Luke, my favorite grandson, and only one.
Yeah.
A Buxton Twins, when they first revealed the whole new era of Twins baseball at the Mall of America in November of whatever, when they showed off the Miami Marlins hat and said that became our hat. But I was going to get him, he wanted a Buxton Twin Cities jersey.
Mm-hmm.
$4.25. He didn't get it.
I was going to say you didn't get it.
No, he got a crisp $100 bill and told to do whatever you want.
Good luck trying to find a jersey.
Towards the jersey.
Yes, right.
That's ridiculous.
Yes. It was $4.25.
I got for Christmas from a kid I used to have in his family an authentic Montreal hockey jersey with Richard's name on the back.
But it came back from that era or what?
Well, I don't know, but are you telling me that's what they paid for that thing?
Oh God, yes. Probably.
Because it's real.
Oh, I bet that probably. Yeah, I bet.
It's unbelievable what they're charging. Now, I don't know if there's places you can get them cheaper.
Well, I was just going to say, Joe, in a case like that, because I know she's bought a couple of used jerseys on eBay, because he wanted, the oldest kid wanted a Correa jersey. She said, I'm not spending. And so she went on eBay and got a really nice one for him for probably $100.
Yeah.
That's too much.
It's better than.
Especially for him. He's not consistent enough.
Joe, I got to repeat this. I said it before, but they show a whole. They're at the Mall of America, and they're going to have their show off their new jerseys. A whole new era of baseball. This is kind of Joe Pollad's introduction, and Juice Sutton, the old baseball guy himself, is the disc jockey and telling us it's a new era of baseball, even though Juice is usually at the hockey games. But anyway. So they get a crowd that's a blue collar crowd. It's at its basis there. There's 150 people there, and they're just like hardcore fans with two kids, but not. You can see that they're not like wealthy folks, right? So then they open up a stand there for these. You can buy these jerseys. Right now they're not in line on them. They're charging like $300. Who's going to buy them? It's unbelievable.
And I know this, Joe, because back in spring training when we were in Arizona, I looked at a City Connect jersey from the Diamondbacks in which it said Serpents. And I was going to get one for Patrick, but they didn't have the.
They used the Spanish nickname for the Spanish
Serpentines or whatever it's called.
Which makes sense.
It was actually a cool looking jersey. But
ours looks very boring.
Yeah. Well, and I was going to say this, but I didn't want to issue a cheap shot at the Twins. I was going to say, thank God no one can see this on TV. The Twins jersey.
Yes, that's right.
Can we talk about Scottie Scheffler?
You got him on TV?
I do. I have the Fubo.
You got the Fubo. Okay.
Yep.
Can we talk about Scottie Scheffler?
Can.
I saw a list of players who combined have not won what he's won in the last, 5 years or 2 years or whatever. And those players are all big names.
Yes.
He's won 5 this year.
Yes. And yesterday, without playing great. Here's my big question. I watched a little of the more. What has Jack done to that course?
I don't know.
To make it that difficult?
Mm-hmm.
Tom Lehman in 1994, 67, 67, 67, 67, 20 under, and it's still the record there. But now the secret with these guys now is you can't do anything with them distance-wise.
Right.
You can't do it. Distance makes nothing. But Jack is growing the rough 4 inches thick, right? Mm-hmm. And he's narrowing the fairways. That must be it. And then if he doesn't get rain, they can make the greens lightning fast. That's the only way. But these guys, that 18th hole had one birdie all week. The guy got it, Straka. Sepp, like.
The popular Austrian.
Yes, Sepp, one of the greatest Austrian players in history, I think.
Probably the only one.
Yes, but I think that was the only birdie all week, or was it yesterday?
I think it was the only birdie all week on 18.
18. And what have we done here? Do you really want 8? Don't you want to see a birdie on 18?
Narrow landing areas.
Yeah, and lightning fast greens and the ball running off there. But Jack was very offended, I remember, when Lehman was 20 under.
Mm-hmm.
And
normally, I'm a big fan of propriety and calling people Mr. and Mrs. I'm a big proponent of that. But this fawning over Mr. Nicholas drove me crazy.
And it's been going on for at least 20 years.
But here's why. He's a well-known figure in golf.
He's Jack.
He's Jack.
Yeah.
You don't need to say Mr. Nicholas.
And he's sitting there on the 18th green.
Yeah.
He don't know if he's on foot or horseback watching what's going on. Every once in a while, he hears some people applauding, so he applaud. I mean, he's pretty sharp still for 84 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's been good. It does drive me crazy.
Mr. Nicholas.
Did I tell you the first match?
We did it with Mr. Palmer, didn't we?
Yeah, but Arnie, I don't think as
not as much,
but not as fawning as this. Arnie never wanted that. Jack loves it.
Jack probably wants to be called Mr. Well, that's why I'd call him Jack.
So I cover my first Masters. And it's the first time the St. Paul paper has covered it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, 'cause they used to send Kenny Murphy to the U.S. Open every year, but he didn't cover the Masters. So I cover it, and I'm writing for 2 cycles, morning and afternoon. This is 81 or 82. Whenever it is, and Bernie's still upstairs. He's still the boss upstairs. He's not running on a daily basis, but he still has his office. And my follow story is basically what a pompous ass Jack is.
Mm-hmm.
Is for the Tuesday afternoon. Because I come back on Monday, so it was it was for Monday afternoon. And it was not a hatchet job or anything, but how haughty he is.
He is haughty.
And even then, 81, a long time ago. And I get called up to Mr. Ritter's office to talk about covering my first Masters because Bernie was a member of Augusta. And he has not, and then I find out as I'm about to go up there that he loves Jack Nicklaus. Mm-hmm. He basically worships him. And fortunately, he has not yet seen the afternoon paper, so we have a nice discussion, and I leave, and I'm sure he was not real happy when he saw it. But what the hell, But it was, he was a hale and hearty guy anyway. So, did you ever meet Bernie Senior? He wasn't around much when you came over in 84.
I saw him. He was still there occasionally.
Yeah, once in a while, yeah. Really good guy.
Loved
Jim Finks. Sold his team because they got rid of Jim. Sold his share for a cheap price.
I wish there was some way the PGA could figure out a way to capitalize on Scheffler because he's not exactly exciting.
No, he's not.
Other than getting arrested.
He did throw the arrest at you, but they dropped all charges.
I did say on Twitter, Scottie Scheffler's going to win again. This guy's so good, he should be arrested.
Yeah. But they can't. I mean, this is their draw is Scottie Scheffler, and he's really dull.
Yes, and but here's what is amazing about current PGA golf, not the live guys. The same guys are fighting for it every week. Schauffele's there. Mm-hmm. He's this Aberg is up there. Mm-hmm. It's pretty. I've never seen. I mean, when Tiger was at his best, he was winning 40% of the time. But the guys chasing him every week were different guys. These guys are all. Schauffele is so clearly the number 2 player. is almost as much as Scheffler's the number one player. The same guys are in the top 10 every week.
Will Spieth and Justin Thomas ever make a comeback?
I would guess so, but
will Jason Day or Tommy Fleetwood ever win a major?
Jason Day won't. No,
I don't think Fleetwood will either.
His best days are behind him. Fleetwood might win a British sometime or something, but Scottie, you're right though. It's like. He didn't play great yesterday. I watched the last back nine pretty much, and he played.
And when he gets a bogey or even a double bogey, he just shrugs it off.
Well, the only time that this year until Sunday, right, that he was over par yesterday, right? 73. Was he 73 yesterday?
I guess.
He was over par one round this time. The only time he'd be over par this season was when he got arrested, and then his caddy was gone on Saturday because he had to go to his kid's graduation. What do you think of going? What do you think of players, managers, golfers, all having to go to their kid's graduation? Can't mom send you a video? Kid walking up there.
He was 74 yesterday. That's 2 over. He won it with 2 over par. On the final round.
Yeah. 74. Wow.
Yep.
Because he bogeyed.
Morikawa was in there. Hadwin.
Yeah, Morikawa's in there all the time. Hadwin's not. But Morikawa, Schauffele, him. Finau is good. So
Schauffele.
I don't know. It's
Sahith Theegala is around a lot.
Good player.
Yep.
Good player. He was one of Hollis's special invite. The one year he had Morikawa, Wolf, and Hovland, and then a couple of years ago he had Theegala as his special invite, and
Rory plummeted in the standings. Rory, that surprises me. He
and in the rumors,
Miranda,
not Miranda. What's her name?
Oh, the TV gal,
Amanda,
the interviewers. The rumors out there floating that they were conducting some late night interviews too. Yeah. The divorce is.
That's a heck of a scoop.
And he played pretty with that hanging. Well, that's out there. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's been out there for 2 weeks.
No, I meant like she got a heck of a scoop.
Yeah, she did. Yes. And you know what it is.
Undefeated.
If it's true, A, undefeated.
Yeah.
B, the male species can't be trusted.
Nope.
That's it. Nope.
He just had the kid.
I know. Not long ago. He said he dumped. Who's the one he was engaged to? Wozniacki, right?
Yeah, the tennis player.
The great, beautiful tennis player. She's gorgeous.
Jesus.
Gorgeous. She's. I looked her up. She's married to. So she's been happily married to some other guy.
I think she landed on her feet.
Yeah, probably some rich guy.
Well, this gal Roy was married to is not, not hard to look at.
No, my goodness. He's.
You're saying golfers end up marrying well?
Well, I don't understand. I'm so stupid. I thought Tiger was a different type of guy. I thought Roy McIlroy.
You never thought Tiger was a different kind of guy.
The hell I didn't.
You know what my surprise level was when it found out Tiger was a hound? Zero. The options this man had were fantastic. They were falling out of the sky.
Must be Rory's deal. He's got an option.
He was just trying to get some waffles.
I still believe that Tiger was messing around with Duffner's wife, too. Because all of a sudden they got a divorce and everybody tried to deny it, but all of a sudden.
Boy, there's a golfer who's disappeared.
Oh, yeah.
Duffner.
Yeah.
Did he take the money? Is he a live guy?
See, that's a good question. Is he a live guy?
No, he did not take the money.
He doesn't show up anymore in the tournament.
Once in a while he pops up and has a good round, but, he and Tiger were big buddies, and then later on we found out why, I guess. So, anyway.
Didn't Duffner win a major?
Yes, PGA.
Remember
when he's leaving?
Yeah.
He's leaving
Took a handful there of the wife.
And they're walking off.
Yeah.
And all of America said, "Oh man, I wish that was me."
Yeah.
Well, we all probably do the same thing.
She was gorgeous. She was gorgeous.
But she must have thought, well, he doesn't have as much money as Tiger.
Well, I don't know. We have really.
And Bialis must have thought.
You know what this show has been today?
It's terrible.
Inappropriate.
Yes, yeah, and I'm not going to foghorn that because that's the accurate description.
I don't think it's been inappropriate.
Yes.
I mean, there's some things
Well, you did.
you got to get to the bottom of something.
That's right. Even if we have no information.
No.
We're going to get there. I do need a pause, so while we
Are we
transition,
pausing?
we do. I
It's
need to
pause
hear
time.
about.
That means it's over.
No, we got to do
Why
a
not?
little backfill. See,
Why?
Well, because we've got to hear about the Valley Group,
2 minutes
and then we've
I
got
know, but then
another.
we're coming back.
Yeah, but then we got another
I am-
Patrick ad. You see,
There's
at the
2
end.
ads?
That's
Pause.
3 today.
Jeez.
3 today. So here we go.
I am proud to be a spokesman for the Valley Group of GM dealers. I have been buying my cars out there for 12, 13 years. Never been disappointed. Never been had to say, hey, would you sell me here? This is used cars, new cars, great cars. Well, right now, Jim Paul's Valley Group of GM dealers, Hastings and Apple Valley, full stock. They got everything. Buick, Yukons, the whole deal. And low interest rates, 0.9, 1.9 if you qualify. And also factory rebates. During the post-pandemic era when cars were in a short supply, new cars, some people were trying to charge you $6,000 over the recommended dealer's price. Never did that at Jim Paul's. These are honest folks, and I recommend them highly, Apple Valley and Hastings. Summer's here. You can either buy a couple of jerseys or go buy a new car. That would be, I'd go for the new car myself.
I have one thing I want to bring up with you two.
Okay.
Shout out to the Mankato East Cougars softball
Yes,
team.
they won, right?
Back to back on the hands of my buddy's daughter, Kylan Stengel, through 16 strikeouts in their championship game.
And here's the other softball.
She's going to the U. She's going to go play for the
Here's
Gophers.
the other great softball story. Little tiny Randolph,
Oh, yes.
Caleb Thielbar's hometown. They have a pitcher. Now, they have a Raymond is her name. And she was and just barely on the fringe, she was the Star Tribune's Metro Player of the Year. Now, this
Wait,
being
Randolph's not Metro?
Well, I think it's in a county that we consider Metro.
Oh, because it's Dakota County.
Dakota
Sure,
County.
okay.
End of Dakota County. And it's a tiny town, but this kid is so good that they, over all the suburban superstars and everything, we named her the Metro Player of the Year. And I guess she's something. She cruised through the state championship.
You ever been to Randolph, Joe?
Rockets.
I'm not sure.
I think they're the Rockets,
You
right?
blink and you're
Where is
through
it?
it.
They got
It's-
a town team, too, but the Randolph.
Yeah, they do.
the
Well, we used to play them in Legion a lot from
Yeah.
Faribault.
Well, unlike you, I've been working on the show here.
We're doing the show.
Oh, that's right.
Thielbar.
I
Thielbar's time. When I go to the next time in the locker room, I gotta ask Thielbar his pride level on having a Raymond girl, a girl from Randolph named Raymond.
where is Randolph?
It's just
almost out of the
it'd be
south
north,
end of Dakota County.
north and west of Cannon Falls.
North and west of Cannon Falls. Okay.
You know what that Dakota County is, Joe? That's a big county.
Is
it?
That's
is.
a big.
I looked
honking
up
county.
something here. You know what Scheffler won yesterday for winning that tournament? What the payout
Probably
was?
4.5.
$4 million.
Really?
He's won $24 million so far this year.
You know what that new baby's? That it's a guy, right?
Bennett, little Benny.
Little Benny's and tall clover.
Yeah.
No matter what happens in life, little Benny's in
For
good
finishing
shape.
second, Morikawa won 2.2. And for third, Adam Hadwin 1.4. For 5, Christian Gesundheit won $1 million.
Gesundheit.
Well, can you say that name? I
No,
can't say it.
That's what my father would have pronounced it, though. Every
Yeah.
time you sneezed, he said, Gesundheit.
And 3 guys tied for 5th, Fitzpatrick, Aidberg, and Straka, each won $766,000. It's a $20 million purse.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
He's got a lot of season left. He could hit $50 million.
I wish Scotty'd be happier.
Well, he's happy.
I know he's happy.
He's just not exciting.
Yeah, he's just not excited when he wins. I mean, the baby traveled. They told us yesterday. The baby was on the road.
Baby was there on the 18th
first
green.
time. The baby makes its first appearance. So anyhow, meanwhile, Liv had a tournament and nobody knew where it was or who won or anything.
They squirt champagne at each other at the end. Is that the team deal?
Do you ever watch it?
I haven't.
Turn it on because a third of the screen is giving us constant updates of the team standings. It's the dumbest thing of all time. Four-man, the Rockets beat the Gorillas. What is wrong
Who are
with
they?
you jackasses?
Do they put the score on the wrong side like soccer, too?
Yeah, it's on the left. It's
Oh,
on
okay.
the left, but it's up and down. But
Got
it's like golf. You need the whole screen for golf. It's a big. You know what? You got a big playing field in golf. It's not like a gymnasium, so you can't be wasting 20% of your screen for meaningless crap.
You have a job. You have a homework assignment this week.
I'm.
You have got to get to the bottom of the controversy surrounding the Minnesota PWHL.
The firing of my gal
What
Natalie.
in the
Natalie
hell?
was that was a kind of a quick disregard
What
for what
is
she
going
accomplished.
on over there? I want to
She
know.
brought you a title.
Right, you long-suffering PWHL fans finally got your title.
One of the blurbs on the book Chip wrote was from Natalie. Mm-hmm. And I lined up Natalie. And Natalie, most of them you write yourself, and then they approve them. Natalie wrote her own for me, because Natalie and I are tight from back in the day. And I have no idea. They say
Natalie and I are tight.
They say that she can be a little feisty and maybe yell at somebody.
It's
and
hockey.
do
You're
something.
supposed to be.
I know. She's this high. How did she become one of the great players ever? So it was really good. But it did give me a chance. You know, they don't have a nickname yet.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Uh-oh.
Backstabbers.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. And we got the OJ song. When they score a goal.
Yeah.
What a goal song. The Backstabbers. Yeah.
What? Who's the guy who ran her out of there?
Kevin Klee is the coach. Kevin is it? It's Klee. He played the NHL for like 15
Wasn't
years.
Natalie the GM?
Natalie was the GM. He had interviewed for the GM. Natalie had one of her guys coaching, and Berggraf, and he quit after like 2 weeks. I understand he had some. They got a couple. They got Suter and Parisi in the locker room there. I heard the two. They got a couple of gals like that.
They're not good in the room?
The clubhouse lawyers, and that guy got sick of them in like 2 weeks, so they brought in this Klee.
I've never heard of
that's
anyone
right.
getting fired after winning a title.
No, it doesn't happen too often, but
Well, no, Jimmy Johnson did.
yeah, that was a personality conflict
Okay.
with the owner.
Well, apparently so is this.
Yeah. Well, not with the owners. I think. Well,
Who owns this team
Isn't it
anyway?
Leopold?
The league. The
league.
guy who owns the Dodgers owns all 6 teams.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He gave them 10. I think how much? Some number. He gave them $1 billion for 10 years to
Why?
finance, because his wife's big on it, and Lisa. He's trying to get along with the missus.
Yeah.
You know, when you,
Yeah, one guy buys carrot cake, the other gives a bill.
That guy buys the league.
Right. I mean, and she could be, and he owns the Dodgers, and he gets all the attention. I mean,
Who is this guy?
Walter's his name. I don't know where the
Well,
money
he's
comes
probably getting a pretty good tax deduction from something like this because it
from.
can't be
they're
generating
not
a lot of
making
revenue.
money yet, but we kind of rushed into it and then didn't have time to pause and
Like our
come up
show.
with a league. But I think Backstabbers would be pretty good.
That's pretty
it's
damn
hockey,
good.
Kinda.
But is there a local person that is the overseer? Would that have been Darwitz?
No, somebody from the league. Yes, Darwitz was the GM. She put the team together.
Well, I was going to blame Mr. Fun because isn't he
Mr. Fun's her PR person,
Yeah.
but I think that's because of Natalie. Natalie and him are old buddies.
Oh, that's true. I didn't even think of that.
He knows Natalie
Yeah.
from back in the day. So I don't know if Mr. Fun's good shape or bad shape.
You know what
I
they
don't know.
had? Dissension.
They did. There was dissension in this room, but I think a couple of players had something to do with it. So, I can't tell. I'm going to call her in about 2 weeks and have her tell me, and I'll keep my mouth shut or something. But
Until you accidentally burn it in this show.
she was so great that when she was in, where was Turin, when the Winter Olympics were in Turin, her Uncle Steve, big on West 7th. It's a blue collar. She ended up growing up in Egan, but it was a blue collar family. The Darwitzes they lived down by Randolph and grew up there, and the games were on tape, right? And Steve would get her on the phone from Italy, and she'd tell him what happened. Then he'd be in the bar, and he said, "I'll bet you a drink that we got to go over there in the next 5 minutes." And Natalie'd score, and he'd get
I told you all it was going to happen.
I felt it happen. Because, guys sitting in a bar on West 7th weren't exactly in on the fact that this game was played hours ago.
Right.
They were
God, that's fantastic.
Steve is I ran into Steve. I was going to a Saints game a couple of years ago, and he stopped me on the street and said, "I'm Steve Darwitz." I said, "You're the greatest." And he was, she just comes from this blue-collar hockey family and feisty kid. Now, she must, her and Frost went cross swords over with the Gophers too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he she was an assistant to him, and I think she probably has strong opinions on how the game should be played.
Maybe she's no-go zone. We don't know.
No, I don't think so.
Well, didn't she? Who's she married? She got married to.
She got married, got a bunch of kids.
But a hockey player, though, right? Isn't she married to?
No, that's Chrissy Wendell.
Oh, that's Wendell.
Chrissy
Okay.
Wendell's married to
Johnny Pohl.
Johnny Pohl.
That's right. Okay, I got those two confused.
Those kids are going to be.
Some
pretty
decent
good
players.
hockey
Yeah, right.
Going to be pretty good hockey players.
Much like the Madonna kids, right? Wasn't that?
Yes, there's 4 of them already.
Right.
Allison's cranking out. She's a Micheletti, Madonna's second wife. And she's cracking out kids left.
What happened in
She's had 4 already.
Alita Ford?
They got divorced a while
That did
ago.
not
Oh,
last.
that didn't
they
work?
didn't have any kids. No, I think they both had their own agenda.
He's a great interview, by the way.
Yeah, he's
Mike.
a great guy. But
Yeah.
Allison was on. Remember when they had the golf show, the ones that hadn't made it? What did they call that on the Golf Channel?
I don't know.
These kind of playing for big money, 20 players.
Shell's Wide World of
No.
Golf.
It was something. She was on that because she played a little, but she was the love interest of the European golfer. She was with him a long time. Who the hell was it? I'd have to go and look. And or an Australian maybe. And then they broke up, and then Mike Madonna and her ended up together, and she's had 4 kids, or I think already 4 kids, because she's great. She's Joe Micheletti's daughter, one of the older brothers. So anyway, Micheletti and Modano, those are good genes too.
I would think
good
so.
hockey genes.
Willa Ford, too, by the way, not Lita.
Willa Ford. Okay.
Willa.
Look up Allison.
I'm going to do
Look
that
up
really
Allison Micheletti and see who the boyfriend was.
quickly. Allison
It'll be on there.
Micheletti.
Micheletti.
And while I do that, Joe's going to offer more thoughts on Brittany Griner.
No. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
I have no
She's
information.
very tall.
Yes.
Skinny.
God, very skinny, yes. And as, I believe she is of the lesbian persuasion, strongly. But
You don't tell me.
I really think so.
yes, strongly. Doesn't say.
It doesn't say. I can't
on
find
Allison.
out who
Okay.
she is.
All right. By next week, I
Martin
will know.
Kamer?
Martin Kamer, yes.
Okay.
She was
He was a
Martin
golfer.
Yes, a very good golfer.
Yeah.
Won a major,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And she was a German, right? Wasn't he German? I think he was
know.
a German.
Somewhere over
I don't know.
there.
One of those.
You can get there.
One of those countries. Enough.
I'm done.
Enough.
I'm going.
Next week, once again,
We're going to get back on track.
Next week, once again, we will have a very appropriate radio, 2024 level. You know, the co-host today could have been Trump for inappropriate comments.
What? There was nothing inappropriate.
No, okay, I agree with you. What the hell?
Goodbye.
Patrick Racy here for the Canopy Group. As you set out to explore Minnesota this summer, don't we all do that? Think about this. There are 234 cities in Minnesota with populations over 2,500. And the Canopy Group currently has clients in all but 7 of those. The Canopy Group's experience in all of these Minnesota cities gives them a unique edge in getting you the best home and auto insurance coverage at the best price. The Canopy Group offers 16 insurance companies to match your specific situation, including your zip code, with the absolute best insurance company for you. This is done for you annually because your specific situation may change. It is also true that the insurance company's appetites might change as well, and you might have to change insurance companies. This experience working throughout Minnesota provides thousands of Canopy Group clients the peace of mind knowing the Canopy Group is working for you. Please visit thecanopygroup.com today.